Good day to you and welcome to another Paddocks Club video tutorial. Today I want to deal with prescribed conduct rule number 4, which is headed Damage, Alterations or Additions to the Common Property. The first provision, that's 4.1, is an owner or occupier of a section shall not mark, paint, drive nails or screws or the like into, or otherwise damage or alter any part of the common property without first obtaining the written consent of the trustees. Fairly clear. Then there's a proviso to that in 2. Notwithstanding sub-rule 1, an owner or person authorized by him may install any locking device, safety gate, burglar bars or other safety device for the protection of his section, or any screen or other device to prevent the entry of animals or insects, provided that the trustees have first approved in writing the nature and design of the device and the manner of its installation. So the fundamental story is don't change the common property without getting the written consent of the trustees, except in circumstances where they have pre-approved particular safety devices or things that stop animals or insects getting in which case you can do so in accordance with that approved manner of installation. Now, this is a rule that can be altered by the developer on the opening of the sectional title register and thereafter by special resolution of the body corporate. Apart from security devices, the types of owner installation most often found on common property include awnings put over doors, DSTV dishes and air conditioning units. Whenever they consider granting consent in terms of 4.1 for an owner to install any item on the common property, the trustee should first consider whether it will be possible for all other owners to do the same and whether it will be practical and more efficient for the scheme to add something to its infrastructure so that the body corporate is able to offer an additional service to owners and occupiers of sections. In the case, for example, of applications to install DSTV satellite dishes, the body corporate and the trustee should first think, should we perhaps install one dish and offer connectivity to all owners on a contract basis, as they are entitled to do in terms of Section 38I of the Act? Where the trustees decide that it is appropriate to grant consent in terms of 4.1, they should also consider what conditions would be appropriate. For example, obliging an owner to maintain that item to the reasonable satisfaction of the trustees, failing which the body corporate is entitled to remove it at the owner's cost. Or that the consent is only applicable to that resident and the item must be removed and the common property made good to the reasonable satisfaction of the trustees when or before that resident vacates the unit. If the trustees anticipate granting similar consent to lots of other owners, let's say, for example, we're on the coast of KwaZulu-Natal and air conditioners are not a nice to have, but almost a need to have. So you want the condenser units outside and you want, you know that this is going to come to you again and again, then it makes sense to make a new conduct rule, or to get the body corporate, should I say, to make a new conduct rule that specifies a uniform set of conditions that will be applicable in every case where the trustees have granted consent for that particular type of item. Any consent that is granted should be made by resolution of the trustees, in writing of course, and should include the text of any conditions. And that should be communicated to all owners so that they know. Before an owner who's installed an item on common property is allowed to transfer his or her unit, that is before the levy clearance certificate is issued, the body corporate should ensure that the item is either removed or that the new owner agrees to the same conditions. Then you don't get a situation where somebody comes into the scheme not knowing the special conditions applied to something that exists to serve their particular section. And any trustee approval under 4.2 of the nature and design of a security or pest control device that owners are entitled to install should also be in terms of a trustee resolution recorded in the minutes of the meeting and published to all owners. Thank you. If you have any questions in regard to this video tutorial, please let's ask them and discuss them in the discussion forum.